Hi, I would love to share with you what it took and how I did it to get 20 speaking gigs in 28 days. November and the beginning of December has been a very intense month, and I wanted to share with you the behind the scene, the good, the bad, and the ugly in this video. Now, if you're watching the replay, make sure you put the hashtag replay here below. Thank you very much so that I know you're watching the replay. And if you're joining live, thank you for joining live, and feel free to ask your questions away because I'm happy to share with you to answer any question that you might have. So yes, being this event this month has been intense. Man, it's been an intense month, and hi, my cousin, Erika, Brett, thank you for joining. So it's been a very intense month, and as you can see, I had 20 speaking gigs in 28 days. Now, a lot of people, first of all, they see, wow, this is the kind of life I want to live. Oh my God, Simone, you're so awesome. Oh my God, Simone, you're so amazing. Well done, you got this incredible number of speaking gigs, but they don't realize what it really takes to get those number of gigs. Now, first of all, I gotta say, I'm absolutely exhausted. I don't want to be a party pooper. I don't want to start on a down. Yes, David, see you in January indeed. I don't want to be a party pooper. I don't want to start on a down, but I'm exhausted. I'm done. It's been incredibly intense because on top of running all the gigs, then I also had to run the business, run the company, manage the events, all that we are doing, because we've been scaling up and we've been growing GTEx massively. I mean, we went this year from 4 staff members to 14 staff members. So it's been an incredible period of growth. However, all the events, they are not all systemized and optimized in a way where I just have to rock up and speak. So we are tweaking. I'm doing less and less, but there is still the clients to serve, the business to run, the programs to create, the emails to send, all while doing 20 gigs in 28 days. So it was I gotta say, very intense experience and grueling at the same time. Now, I don't feel tired when I'm on stage because that's my purpose. That's what makes me happy, the happiest. That's what keeps me alive. That's what I love the most doing. So therefore, even when I'm doing this Facebook Live with you, or if you're watching, maybe you're listening on the podcast, this replay, or you're watching somewhere else, or when I am on stage sharing, I come alive. I could be the most tired person in the world. Give me a stage, give me a microphone. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. Right? But then I step off stage and it's like, oh my God, I want to sleep now. So a lot of people don't understand the amount of work that is required to sustain this incredible number of gigs, and also the energy that is required to sustain this number of gigs while you're sleeping less, you have more things to do, you have also the follow-up to do for the sales that have been generated. So there is all these dynamics going on. And also, a lot of people underestimate the amount of time that is required to build enough relationships with enough event organizers that so then you arrive to this point where I haven't even applied for a gig in all these 20 gigs. I not even asked for one. They've been given, right? Actually, no, I asked for one. I reached out the event organizer for one. All the others were given. But they were given because I've reached out to hundreds and hundreds of event organizers in the past 5 years. And what people don't realize is that building a relationship with event organizers in your field and building a strong reputation doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. And people are still there thinking, oh my God, I want to have like hundreds of speaking gigs every year. But you need to get out there. You need to build relationships. You need to be a great speaker, a great communicator, making also great sales so you make the event organizer happy. And there are so many skills that you need to put in place before you can capitalize on these opportunities. That is hard work. And what people want, they want the results without the hard work. I never met one that actually was very successful following that method. David says adrenaline keeps you going each day, but it's when you hit the bed then you wake up. Yes, absolutely. And I gotta say also, this is not sustainable in the long term. I know that November historically has been my busiest speaking year. In fact, as a speaker, you know that you're going to have a higher season and lower season. So you push when you know that there are a lot of events, there are a lot of award ceremonies, there are a lot of demands in this case, like the months of November, December, October, September, boom. Like in the speaking industry, there are seminars everywhere in this time. There is a dip generally during the summer. June, July, August, there are less. June is quite active, but July and August, there is a dip most of the time. So I will recharge my batteries and do less. And also, something I do to balance the situation, is to take a regular time off. For example, in May, I'm off the entire month. May is a month where I'm off, not doing any work. I'm out. My wife and I, we'll go on a cruise, we'll go somewhere, and we'll generally stay out for about 2 to 3 weeks and have another week to get back on track. But I'm not booking any meeting, I'm not booking any client, I'm not booking any gig. Why? Because I need that time, and it's the mid of the year. January is a good month for speaking engagement, very busy. In fact, gonna get ready for January as well, where we have our Thailand retreat in this case. But this is what's happening. So how do you then build a relationship with event organizers, and how do you sustain then such a higher level of speaking gigs without burning out? Because that's the real question. How can you book this many gigs, and how can you sustain so then every time you go on the stage, you're on your game? Because you don't want to step on the stage and be a freaking zombie. That's the last time they're gonna call you up, right? So how can you do that? How can we do this in a different way? Well, there are a few things that I'm putting in place. Number one is having a team around me. Now, there are people that, for example, Wang, God bless Wang, oh my God, she's my virtual assistant, and she does all the processes and the systems of GTEx, and she helps making sure it keeps me sane, basically. She has to book flights, she will book the flights, she will do the research for where the places to stay. She will liaise with the event organizers, giving them all the material that they require. In fact, as a speaker, what you want to have is a folder with all the things that an event organizer needs, because all the event organizers need the same things. You need to have your bio, your title of the talk, the professional picture that you can use, the logo of your business. So you need to have them all in one folder, so then once you create them once, your assistant or yourself, you can then send them over. You don't want every time to start refining and recreating a new bio and finding one. That's time wasted. So do things well. These are the things that event organizer always need. You give them that, you make your life easier. And then the other thing that I'm doing is also to make sure that I'm never going to a speaking engagement alone, by myself. Because I've been to so many events, and I've done it for years, where I was going to gig after gig after gig, and it was just me with the banners, with the printouts, with the brochures, with big heavy bags, and man, that was the most tiring part. It was not the speaking on stage. It was the logistics and carrying everything from one part to the other of the city. And to answer David's question, I'm going to be in Koh Samui. I'm going to be in Koh Samui, David. So which part of Thailand do you live in? Let me know. So carrying everything is grueling, is exhausting. So now having 2 to 3 people with me every single time, that helps me out. So then I can just be focused on speaking on stage and connecting with the participants. All the email capture, email address, engaging with the other participants, that's all done, that's all delegated. And that's so important, because then you keep and you save your energy. Otherwise, you cannot really make the most. If you don't have that, you cannot really make the most of the event. Of course, if you're speaking in front of 4 people, yourself is enough. You don't need to bring a lot of stuff. When you're speaking in front of 50, 60, 100, 500 people, that's different. You want to have a team around you because you will not be able to energetically and also physically and timing wise have the capacity to get the most out of this gig. Because every gig is not just the opportunity of the clients that will come and they will buy from you, but it's an opportunity to build a relationship with people. It's an opportunity to build a relationship with the event organizer. It's an opportunity to build a relationship with the other speakers so then you can have multiple speaking gigs. And sadly, that's how I got my 20 speaking gigs this month. Spent so much time building relationship with event organizers, with other speakers, that when something comes up, or I can ask them, hey, do you have a space for me to speak? Or they will ask me, hey, we are doing this event. I think you will be a great fit. Because now I've got a great reputation and they know that I'm fair. They know that if there is another affiliate and we are having a deal where we're splitting the sales, I'm always going to be fair with them because that's the most important thing. Being an event organizer myself, I always put myself into the event organizer's shoes. And that's something that a lot of speakers don't do. Giving the slides on time, giving the payments on time, sending the material on time, signing the contract on time. That's things that, as an event organizer, you lose a relationship, as a speaker, you lose a relationship with an event organizer like this if you're not organized. Why? Because now they have to chase you. And they got all the other things more important to do than chasing you just because you cannot put a signature in a contract or you cannot sort out your slides. So that's why it's important that you're not professionally only on stage, but as you're professionally on stage, you're professionally off stage. And I'm curious to hear your opinion. If you're watching live right now, you're listening or you're watching, let me know what you think about it. If you ever organized an event and you had other speakers, what were your thoughts and impressions? So that's something that it will make a massive difference because in this market, but like in any market, in any business, and you have a speaking business, so you are in business, your reputation is everything. If you don't take care of your reputation, if you don't put yourself in the event organizer's shoes, if you don't do things on time, people will get bored, they will get tired, and then they will hire the other speaker that maybe is not as good as you are, but is not a pain in the ass to work with. So don't be a pain in the ass. People don't want to work with prima donnas and pain in the ass unless you can bring 1,000 people in one room. That's different. If you bring me 1,000 people in one room, you can be a pain in the ass, but God, I love you. Right? But if you don't have the kind of audience, you don't have the kind of gravitas, man, be good. Build these relationships. Another thing that I found really important to manage this entire process is give myself plenty of sleep. I sleep a lot. Like a lot of people say, oh, Simone, you never sleep because I always see you out there, I always see you doing. Yeah, when I'm awake, I'm 100% on. But when I'm sleeping, man, getting me out of that pillow, that's very difficult. I always will sleep like 8 to 9 hours every single day. Because on top of that, play a lot of sports, so I need to give my body time to recover and time to rest, for the muscles to grow and so on. So, yeah. And that's crucial as well. And that's how, even not while having this time, while being so intense, I didn't get sick. I was always on my game because I was giving myself plenty of sleep. And it's easy in these situations actually reducing the amount. That's the easiest choice. Reduce the amount of sleep so you can do more. But if you reduce the amount of sleep for too many nights in a row, then you're going to burn out. Then you're going to break down. Your voice is going to go. You're not going to be as effective on stage. So then now the event organizer that put you on that stage will say, hey, you know what? Right, this guy looks like a wreck. I'm never going to get this person anymore in one of my events. So think about that. How can you show up as a professional every single time? What does your body need? What kind of vitamins or nutrients or minerals? It's a time where you got to actually eat in a healthier way than you would normally eat if you don't naturally have a healthier diet. I Plenty of fruit, plenty of vegetables, plenty of juices, vitamins, minerals. I mean, you name it. I was gaining this vitamin C like crazy. 2-3 times a day. But then I know that my immune system needed an extra boost because I was putting my body under a lot of stress and my mind under a lot of stress. With the stress, the immune system goes down. So I need to get something to boost it up. That vitamin C, those lemons, became my best friends. So I could have the energy and I could keep going in this way. Big shout out to Gregory. Dahlia, thank you very much for joining. Esther, thank you very much for joining. And David says, most speakers can speak, but so can anyone. But knowing how to speak, how to deliver, how to be professional, and how to communicate and be a pleasure to work with is another thing. And you must know how to sell. If you can sell, promoters will tell you, I love you, and never book you again. Absolutely, David. And also it depends where you are going as a speaker, because there are speakers, there are events, if you're going as a paid keynote speakers, for example, that you are not required to sell. Actually, they will tell you, don't sell, because they will pay you up front. But it's a different dynamic in getting the gig. Your clients now is not anymore the audience in the room. Your clients is the event organizer. So now the selling effort is done to sell your services and the way you're different, and all your marketing needs to invite an event organizer to be there and to get you on stage. Absolutely. So take a look at the way you want to run your business. Now, as well, a lot of people will leave, they are living under false dreams. What do I mean about that? They see this video and they say, wow, Simone, 20 gigs in 28 days. He's a very accomplished speaker, writes for Forbes, writes for entrepreneurs. He has 2 podcasts. He's always interviewed left, right, and center, goes on television, cover of magazines. Right. But not everyone can or is willing to put the same amount of work that I put. And not everyone has a high value. I love just came back from the event where I spoke with Dr. DeMartini and Jarek Robbins, and Dr. DeMartini was talking about values. If you go on my Facebook or also on YouTube or on the podcast, there's going to be the interview that I did with Dr. DeMartini on building wealth. And Dr. DeMartini said something which is really important. A lot of people will do anything they can and anything they want, anything which is in their power to serve their highest value, to serve what's valuable to them the most. For me, teaching is one of my highest values. For me, personal transformation is one of my highest values. For me, sharing my message and sharing my methodology is one of my highest values. Therefore, I do whatever I can to get on as many stages as possible. But that's what makes me happy. Some people, they live the dream that they say, oh, you know what, I would love to be on stage. I would love to share the stage with those celebrities, to be on the road all the time. But actually what they value the most, it might be family, it might be quiet time. If you go and decide to go for this kind of lifestyle, there is no quiet time. Because you're a public figure, you're always out there. They call you left, right, and center. So is this the life that you want to live? Is it the life that makes you happy? It does for me, because that's what I love. Give me a spotlight. I'm like, ha ha, spotlight. Here you go. You see this? I'm under it. Ha. I'm really happy. Give me a cover of a magazine, and I'm not, and it's not bothering me doing the work for it. I do it because I love it. I love the process as well as I love the results. So ask yourself, what is the process that you love? That's a really important question to ask yourself. What is the process that you love? Do you want to have more quiet time for yourself? Do you want to have more time for the people that you love? Do you want to have more time for your family? Having a career when you have 200 speaking gigs a year, like I had for the past 5 years, every single year, at least 200 speaking engagements, that doesn't give you a lot of time with your family, with your friends, and doing other stuff. Is that the life you want? That's the life I chose. And next year, I'm going to reduce because my priority is going to change. Family is going to become a much bigger priority than it has been so far. So I'm going to reduce the quantity of gigs and increasing the quality of the gigs that I'm going to do. But still, I'm going to be around a lot. Why? Because that's what I love the most. That's what makes me happy. I don't want to stay at home all day. I like quiet time, but not too quiet. Get bored. I love seeing the company grow. I love seeing the cash coming in the account. I love seeing the businesses that we transform. What do you love? What are your priorities? What are your values? It's a great book from Dr. Demartini called The Values Factor. Make sure you get that. If you haven't read it, absolutely incredible. Follow his work because you don't want to live someone else's dream. That's my dream and I'm living it. I'm exhausted, but I'm happy. You don't want to go, I'm exhausted and miserable. And then in that couple of days, recharge the batteries and boom, ready to go again. In fact, next week we're going away for a week with Lovelda because we haven't spent much time together throughout this process. I mean, being away, I barely saw her for the month, and that put a strain. It's putting a strain in the relationship, as you can imagine. So we need a time away. So then, while I'm on the road as well, we can also connect. We can also spend time together, and keep the relationship alive. Because for me, the relationship is really important. So think about this. What kind of life do you want to live as a speaker? What kind of dreams do you have as a speaker? What makes you happy? And then go out there and build it accordingly. Build your speaking business according to what you want. The way Lovelda and I build... Hello, Andrea. Great to see you. And thank you, Tula, for coming. The way Lovelda and I are building our speaking businesses in completely different ways. Lovelda, she might speak 10 times a year, and she's happy. She's paid well, and she has a lot of time for herself. She spends a lot of time at home, but that's what makes her happy. She doesn't like to stay, she's very sensitive, doesn't love to go around and be a lot of hundreds of people all the time. But I love crowds. Give me an audience, I'm like, give me an event, I'm there. Fills me up with energy. I stay at home all day, I'm like, oh, I'm drained now. I need to get out. People, I need people. Hey Robert, great to see you. So, to recap, having this process and having such great success this month in terms of number of speaking engagements and quality of speaking engagements has been incredible. I'm really grateful for the life that I was able to build, for the business that I was able to build, and this is just the beginning. And remember that if you want to get great results or results that are very different from the norm, then you need to put an extraordinary amount of work. And you need to have extraordinary people around. Otherwise, there is nothing wrong in just being like other people are or getting average results. There's nothing wrong with that. It just doesn't sit well for me because I'm an overachiever and I always want to be the best. But think about your life, the way you lived. What's important for you? Do you want to spend more time with your family, the people that you care about? Great. Also, I know that age is very different. Energy is very different from different ages as well. Priorities are different because the age you are. I'm 30. I'm a freaking machine. I'm a missile. Like a poof. There's nothing that can stop me. And my priority right now is I'm building my family and my work. And my basketball. That's it. These are the three priorities in my life. Basketball, family, speaking. Basketball, family, speaking. Basketball, family, speaking. That's it. And that's what I want my life to be. I don't need anything else. That's the excitement. So what's important for you? Build a business that is in alignment with your highest value. You don't know what they are? Do some soul searching. Read Dr. Demartini's The Values Factor, amazing book. But make sure you do something about it. Don't leave someone else's dream. And instead, if your dream is, and you know that you thrive by getting out there and being on as many stages as possible, great, do it. Yeah, thank you, Andrea. Sounds very grounded. Yeah, it took me a while to be that grounded. I think it's the first time someone calls me grounded. Gregory says, age 28 to 42, it's time to really crush it. Good for you. Thank you. We are both Italian roots. Are we related? Probably we are. And Gregory says, allow crowds to, what you're sharing sounds like me, what I like. Fabulous. So you know where is your zone of genius. So spend as much time as possible in your zone of genius and things will happen, doors will open, and it doesn't feel like work. This is the thing. Just wake up and you cannot wait to do it. The moment it feels like, maybe you're doing the wrong thing. And I'm going to take on board Dr. John Demartini work much more seriously. Because, even when we work with our clients, we have our model of speaking and we attract clients that want to become great speakers. And what I want to do is also to make sure that when we mentor them, we can help them creating a business which is in alignment with their highest values. Therefore, the work of Dr. Demartini is going to be fundamental. I'm going to integrate it way more in the experience that we give to our clients. Absolutely. Because it made me reflect on what's important to me. And I think everyone needs to understand, not just because there is a great speaker there on stage that convinces you that that's the route for you, that's the route for you. And I think, of course, there is a period when you need to adjust. You need to have that dream or that thing, and you're testing. And you're saying, does it make you happy? Great, do it. Does not make you happy? Don't, drop it. But then in the meanwhile, you will find also what shades of that part makes you happy and what they don't. So you just do is a process of refining. Like right now, I'm in the process of giving away and delegating all the things that don't make me happy. Everything that I don't enjoy doing is gonna go away. Everything. Why? Because I want to live my life being with my family, playing basketball and speaking. And building GTEx. That's what I want to do. Helping people through that. And that's at the moment what's true to me. What's real to me. Then we'll see in a few years, maybe things will change. I'm open to that. We have to be open to that. The moment we are not open to change is the moment when we die. We can't force the evolution. But in order to change, you need to know where you are right now. And you need to honor where you are right now. And then when you're changing, you need to honor the change. I've changed many times. I did an interview today for an online TV program. And we're talking about the different evolutions I had. I started from students to go to waiter, restaurant manager, giving away everything that I had and giving it away to charity, becoming a hippie, homeless, becoming an activist and being in part of the Occupy movement in London, and one of the people that started it here in London and fighting against the capitalistic society. Then starting my own business and becoming very capitalist. So, yes, I changed. Was single, became a married man, change. And every change is an opportunity to grow. So we've got to take those opportunities. We've got to embrace them. And always have a check. Is this making me happy? Is this the life I want? If the answer is yes, brilliant, keep going. If the answer is no, then say, okay, what does it make me happy of this? Okay, let's delegate it, let's outsource it. Or maybe let's drop it all together. Because the moment you live a life completely in alignment, things will happen to you. People say, oh, how come you attract so many opportunities? Well, because I became attractive. That's how I attract so many opportunities. I became attractive by living a life that I love. And therefore, people see the passion, people see the enthusiasm, people see the drive, the universe sees it, and they want to give me more of that. That thing will happen to you too. So always have the check. All right, it's time to wrap up. I hope this was useful. It went in a direction that I didn't plan, I didn't expect, to talk about changes and embracing changes and values. But I think it's very relevant to see how people are dealing with speaking engagement, how people are building their speaking businesses, how people are living their life, because it's your business, it affects your life. Thank you for joining, Matthew. It's time to wrap up. Thank you very much for watching. If you joined live, thank you for watching live. If you're listening to the podcast and the recording, thank you for listening to the podcast. Hit the subscribe button and subscribe right now. If you're watching on YouTube, then subscribe as well. I'll see you next time, and always remember that together we grow exponentially. Ciao.